Welcome to episode 3 of The Perfect Game. My name's Jacob and I play Circle.
My name's James and I play Trolls.
This time we've got a special guest on the show. We've got Rich Beech here to commentate on his own game.
Indeed. Hey guys, how you doing? Oh no, shit, I'm Rich, I play Cador.
Perfect intro, perfect. Flawless. So let's go through the list. What's in the troll list today?
Alright, so this is Madrak3 and he's running him. He's got a Pyre Troll, a Bouncer, and an Impaler. He's got a Felcaller hero, a Trollkin Champion hero, a Stone Scribe Chronicler, 2 Kithgars, a min unit of Warders, a max unit of Champions with Scaldy Bolthammer, Bonehammer even. There's a min unit of Champions and a max unit of Fenblades with UA. I believe the Fenblades and the Felcaller, the Fenblade UA and the Felcaller hero are free.
Cool. So I was running today Vlad1. So I've got Vlad1. I've got 2 min units of Winterguard Rifle Corps with 3 rockets. I've got a min unit of Winterguard Infantry with 3 rockets and the UA. Then I've got 3 Marauders, 2 Juggernauts, Joe, a Mortar, and a Field Gun. Because the list is in theme, I've got 5 Winterguard units, so I get 5 lots of advanced move. And Vlad has Sack Pawn as well to Winterguard models.
Sounds pretty good.
Yep. So it's like the Vlad1 rocket list, which everyone knows. The only bits I've changed from, well, the core bit's the same for everyone. I think the jacks usually change by 1 jack depending on who's running it. So I'm now testing a Devastator. The infantry I really like because one of the things that people tend to do at some point is try and run at you. And having Hand of Fated or Signs of Importance, Power 12 sprays is really, really good. So it's great for just like clearing off jam and also things like Sentinels and stuff like that. The difference between 10 and 12 on sprays because you're rolling so many dice. It's really good at killing like Power 20 stuff, which is, shows how strong Vlad is when you're reliably, or you're banking on reliable 9s on 2 dice. So yeah.
Okay, so you're going second on the pit here.
I am. I was really worried about this actually. Like the matchup was scary. So it's the pit. Toby won first. So I picked this side mainly. There wasn't a huge amount of difference in either side. Cover's not relevant, but that massive piece of terrain in the middle is rubble. So I didn't want to be having a gun line shooting into. Basically this is medium advanced moving up. But yeah, gun line shooting into. Loads of Fenblades in cover. So I chose this side. Toby went first, and yeah, it's scary because he's got so many dudes. He's going to run at me. He's going to feed. I'm struggling to get through it, and it's kind of this is the scenario where he's going to score first on my turn, and then it's going to become, can I kill all of his stuff and start getting ahead or contesting him on scenario before he wins on scenario. And spoiler is pretty much what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it looks to me like you haven't got a lot of pieces you can throw away to contest his flag.
No, and if you look away, he's put his Fenblades as well, which he's running out now. Like they're all outside of threat. I think he cheekily tried to give me 1 or 2, the little blighter. But yeah, if you look, he's got more than half his unit on the left side. There's a building down there, but it's make a huge difference. So yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I think my big takeaway from this game actually was not to be greedy, and I think there's a couple of points where I really was. And even like when I watched this back originally, I've got 3 jacks up at the top because the plan is that I feel I'm going to be able to get through all the guys he throws at me. I know he's going to be down at the bottom by his flag, so I'm thinking the stuff at the top is going to be outside the stone. It's going to be weaker. It's going to be outside the feet. So my plan is just sweep down from the top of the screen, get onto my flag as well, and then just destroy everything and work towards his flag. In reality, I probably should have put another jack down at the bottom with the sole use of feating and just running to contest. So you can run 16 inches on Vlad's feet turn. Cage or jacks are slow and all. So I probably should have done it in hindsight because I don't have a lot to contest. Very astute, James.
Yeah, I think it's interesting as well. I mean, we've missed most of it now, but if you watch, Toby does interwoven deployment, and it's not as easy as he makes it look here. It's incredibly difficult to unpack and to keep everything right, in command ranges. And it's like, if you ever want to see how to do it, this is an amazing example of that. If you ever just want to watch it and just rewatch the start of the video again, and just watch what Toby does, because he's got fen blades everywhere, and he's got everything. You know, the warders are covering the whole area as well, and any blast damage is going to potentially proc vengeance. It's just really, 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 really good deployment, and it's something that we can all learn. It's something I don't know, I didn't do myself as much as I should. It's fantastic.
If you look at the coverage as well, and as you say on these fen blades, like it's really big. And I started going through this is me picking out, right, where are the fen blades, etc., where are the models, and you look at it, you're like, okay, I can't actually risk shooting anything. That's literally not. I mean, usually with Vlad turn 1, you want to one-off floater, cheeky, science importance, power 10 blast over, and just start killing infantry. But you just couldn't with this. It was really impressive. And if you look at the board space that he takes up as well, like the threat of his fan blades, you can put them everywhere. When people tend to put them down on like one side, so they just put them in one block and then run them forward, especially as training away, it actually really limits their effectiveness, because they're medium bases anyway, so you can't get huge amounts on charge targets, and they do a really good job of blocking each other. So yeah, I completely agree, James. This was really impressive, really impressive.
Yeah. Also, in regards to the matchup from Toby's perspective, he's the only damage buff really in the list is Spell Piercer, and of course it's quite ineffective against Cade Jacks because they're naturally armor 20. So most things that were going to be high, most things are lower than armor 20. Fen Blades or Charging Champions are going to be good against them. But armor 20, you're not dropping anything off because Spell Pierce isn't really affecting it. It's going to be a bit tough for him to break the Jack's armor, I reckon, as well, looking at this list.
Yep, he's got. I mean, it's difficult to get to. If you watch Toby throughout the game, if you have a look at like the back of somewhere where his support pieces are, Charge of the Trolls is probably his biggest one. If you look at his beast loadout, he's got an Impaler and a Bouncer. I guess a big part of that is to be able to proc Charge of the Trolls, which I think he gets off at one point.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. This is the Jack at the bottom. I mean, that Jack in the middle, in the rubble and in the zone. That's quite a key piece. Like, I didn't actually see it here. From my angle, it looked like it was in the zone a lot further than it is. And that comes up later. But the reason I put it there was I kind of wanted Toby to burn his mini feet and throw loads of stuff in. Because it means that he's going to get a couple of, I think I gave him like 2, maybe 3 charges into the Juggernaut. And it will allow him to charge that, use the mini feet for the extra movement on Pathfinder, but then run everything. I know he's going to feet next turn, so I was trying to like bait him into having more stuff outside of control, either outside of control or a bit further back, so I could get into the zone. So that's why that kind of Juggernaut's in threat. Everything else is out of threat here. It's just kind of running up. So Rockets at the top, they're just going to spend their life just shooting at trolls. Which is fine, and likewise with these guys, just basically staying out of threat of the whole lot. So yeah.
The one thing I find surprising here is your bottom Jack doesn't look like it's within run and contest range on that bottom flag.
No, and it's I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, there's 3 Jacks at the top. The reality with the amount of rockets up there and 2 Jacks aren't doing anything. I wanted the wall to be. I wanted the wall to be able to stop charges. So the reason the infantry are there actually not up against the wall is because Toby can't very easily run and engage them because there isn't a landing spot. Yeah. So that's why they're there. So I wanted them to be able to still shoot, etc. on that. But what it's done, like trying to protect the infantry, you're right, I haven't got something that can run into the to contest. And yeah, with how this works, I mean, potentially one of the things that I was contemplating after seeing how this game unfolded again is maybe I don't think he can crack the armor, and even if he can't get through all the Jacks. And I've still got lots of rockets, so after his feet turn, I'm going to shoot through everything eventually. So I wonder whether if I was going to play this again, I just feet bottom or 1 and literally run all my Jacks across the table.
So you see, what I was thinking was if that bottom Jack is just further, like another 4 inches closer towards his flag. He might send things in to try and kill it. 1, if he does kill it, which I think is unlikely in 1 turn, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. And 2, it means he's definitely not going to be jamming up your rockets on the bottom side, which is a possibility. So I don't, especially with the reposition and then the charge, I think it might be worth sending it further forward and saying, look, if you don't come and kill this, I'm going to contest your flag next turn.
Yeah, and it's a really good lesson in just like, yeah, I had a feeling of how the game was going to go. And honestly, I didn't quite appreciate exactly how far ahead he's going, or how the scenario is going to tick over. And I think that's just resilience of Trolls. I thought I'd be able to keep pace with him by basically controlling the top area of the board, which is why I kind of slack forces over there.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, after seeing some of that, it's kind of like potentially running thing. And the other thing you'll notice is even though I've got something in the zone, I can get lots into the zone from the top. That jack in the middle is now in rough terrain and in rubble because that's where it had to go.
Yep.
And partly to bait out the thingamabob, the mini feed. But actually it means now if I want to run something to contest the flag, it's either the infantry or it's a jack running all the way over the top. And there's quite a lot of medium base, scary, tough Trolls in the middle.
Yeah. What about would you ever consider having a clamjack as one of your 5? Because I think
the clamjack is now in my list.
Because I was going to say, because I really do think that he'd struggle to kill a clamjack.
Yep. With a clamjack, you can, I mean, even with charge of Trolls against this, you can literally just, run that turn 1. It can soak up the majority of the charges, and you'll notice his it doesn't matter hugely, but if you see at the top, his chronicler's up at the top.
Yeah.
So because he's spread deployments, is another point. It doesn't matter where I want to be. He can probably get a buff on the unit that he wants to charge.
Yeah.
But even with if they go to power 14, they're charging a D25. It's armor 23, do 2 points each. He's going to get maybe 5 around a large base. Would you say, James?
Yeah. Probably not more than that. That's the problem. Obviously, you've got the reach, but you also take up a lot of space yourself.
Yeah. So with that being said, it's like I think it can tank it, and then that just never opens up. That'll just eventually get there. If he then blocks the clamjack with a massive unit, with the unit himself, then the middle zone's clearer. So should be able to then.
I think he's the only thing he can really do with the clamjack is righteous vengeance up to it with Madrak, and then beat back it out of contest range.
Yeah.
That's literally what we're looking at, isn't it? Because
no, he can't do that. It can't be pushed.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Then literally nothing. Like you can probably throw it, maybe. You can't throw a large base with a medium base. He's only got small. He's only got light Trolls and Beast. Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, indeed. But I think it's a general point. Like Toby's a really, really good player.
Yeah.
And if you look at how he played this game, like we're talking through it now. All the stuff we're talking through, I'm pretty sure he kind of had a better idea than me at the table of how this was going.
Yep.
And I think he was about a turn ahead than I was in terms of game plan, understanding what goes on. And you'll see that just in terms of I think he's got a much better idea of what's going to go on with this game. I think.
Yeah. So he's making a play here. He's sending the Femblades in. Did he mini feet or did he just give them march?
He had to mini feet to get the Fems in.
Get the 2 inches.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
So the thinking was, he's going to be a bit further forwards. That Kithcott at the bottom was a prickle game. I really didn't like that guy. Anyways, that's fine. But yeah, this is it'll be interesting when you see my turn 2 on this and talk through. He mini feeds it down. I think the rest of this is just him, doing usual stuff of like getting stuff in position. This is it. He tried to scatch an AoE on. At turn 1, like bottom of 1 for Vlad, there's typically a lot of things boxed up because it's really hard not to. So yeah, if you've got AoEs against Vlad, then scatching them in on the top of 2 is usually really good fun.
And I assume this is Madrak's feet turn.
Oh yeah.
And what I like as well with the Kithcar at the bottom, you can see there's a Femblade to about 1 o'clock. If you look from it above it, within 5 inches to proc Righteous Vengeance. There's also one behind the building.
Yep.
So he's got. Yeah.
And they're the ones that at this point, I would look to this thing. It's like, shit, I really better reread this card. This is the first time I played Madrak3. That's who does. But yeah, it's just again with Trolls. Like Trolls are so positioning intensive. I think a lot of people struggle with them because of that. I think if you look at where he's got it, there isn't a position there isn't a model really out of position, I think. If you look at the Warder coverage now that he's about to run up, so he's got basically a couple of blocks of champs, which is fine, and then he's got some Warders behind, which is all good. That's fun. So Warders are basically soaking up pretty much everything.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks to me like he's saying commit to the zone or I'm going to clear it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And yeah, I think this is where when you go through it, this is like actually we'll finish those turns. So that's his foul call at the back.
Yep.
Who comes in.
And I think you have a conversation now, if I remember correctly, about Madrak, if he can get to the flag because there's rough terrain there. And I think
the only thing that Toby mentioned during the game, and obviously he knows it better than me, so I'm not sure, was that he thought his gap that he'd left wasn't the gap that he had left wasn't as big as he wanted at 2 turn 1. So I think Madrak was out of position by about an inch.
Yep.
But yeah, it looked fine. I mean, it's one of those ones. If you notice, he had this foul caller as well, who just ran up into the zone. For the sake of a couple of inches, he probably could have pathfinded Madrak if it had been close. So yeah, it's like 5.5. So that's fine.
Cool. So he's sitting on the flag now. He's feating, and basically, it's going to depend on how many tough rolls he makes now, I suppose. Yep.
Yeah. He makes the wrong amount of tough rolls, I think, is the answer.
I suppose we're going to see, is it the wrong amount for you or is it the wrong amount for him?
Well, it's kind of, I mean, something interesting here. So he's flipped the clock, so he's feated. And at this point, it's like just going through and clarifying, so their base-to-base stats, okay, fine, counter charge, who's in the stone, who's in the feet, all that type of stuff. He's got 3 guys really near to my flag, which is all right. And what else he had? He's got 3 guys running to the flag, supports at the back. He's got Warder coverage pretty much across the board. Scaldy's kind of in the middle somewhere, which is all fine. So yeah, quite good fun.
Cool.
So this is power up. So the plan this turn was basically just to try and shoot as much as possible. As power through the tough rolls, shoot as much as possible off the board. If he comes forward with volume of attack, I do the infantry first, so thinking that the jacks will then be able to go and clean up what's left, or just commit into the zone and charge in. So that's fine. If he does come forward, he comes out of feet range and out of stone range. So actually, he can't just has to sit there and take it in the zone. I mean, certain stuff at the top of the table. Obviously, Madrak's 12-inch control range, and you can see that he's a couple of inches out of the zone already. So yeah, he needs to come forward into the zone. There's a gap for Vlad to go and sit on the flag. So Vlad is unsurprisingly going to go and cast Signs of Importance and sit on the flag, because that's what Vlad does. It's here, yeah.
And I think we already discussed it, but I'd assume you've accepted that you're not going to contest this turn.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, right? If we do the turn, and then once it starts going on, I'll talk through what I think I should have done. So basically, I've loaded up a jack to be able to get that bunch of 3, of the 3 guys, base to base, the champions. I've loaded a jack up that's in range, within feet range, to be able to go and kill them. So the plan was just shave off as much as possible. The jacks are pinned in, so they're just going to sit in the zone and punch stuff around them. So that's fine. So they're going to do that, and then I've got a jack at the top that can just charge in and kill those 3 champions if they tough lock. So it's just going to throw as much rockets as possible at them, and then go from there.
Cool.
So that's the plan. So Vlad's moved up onto the flag. I think he's camping 1. He's cast Signs of Importance. He allocated 2, and then this is basically Vlad doing bad things, which is him just rolling loads of dice. So I just start playing into that top line, which is fine. I've got a couple of different targets for that jack to roll into. So initially, I'll just plow into the champions to get boxes down and stuff like that. Toby, for spoilers, makes pretty much no tough rolls. It's really embarrassing. He hardly makes any tough rolls. So you can see him now. It starts just starting to take walls off the board.
And these are 4-up toughs, remember, as well, because of the feet.
They are 4-up toughs, yeah. So this game here is this is the turn where I think Toby's on the flag, so he's made his play. I think the way I responded to it wasn't good. And actually killing those 3 there is the start of why it wasn't good, which you'll see. And it's I was quite surprised they'd all gone. And it's predominantly, this is where effectively I got really, really greedy and left myself open to losing the game on this turn. So Marauder's going to go and just start beating up on Femblades. I have to trigger Vengeance. I can't leave the Femblades there because they're going to be able to start just cleaving through the thingamabobs.
The rocket support staff.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not going to work.
And if you're watching here, every time Toby takes a model off, obviously that means that he's not toughing, but you'll notice when he passes a tough because he moves a model because he gets an advance every time it happens, and you'll notice that hasn't happened yet. And you've removed
with the ones that he did tough, he didn't advance for a lot of them.
Okay. You see, this Jack you've just moved.
Yeah.
That's the one that I wonder if you should be getting close to his flag.
So this whole turn here, what I should have done, because he's just gone in, I'm basically just shaving off the front line, putting stuff in the zone. So at this point, in all honesty, I was like feeling, I've still got 3 Jacks to go. I've still got 2 units of rockets, rifles. You can see like a lot of the stuff that's in the way is either now engaged, either engaged or it's quite far back. So I was basically thinking I've got enough where I can just take it, and then after his feet turn, I'll keep throwing rockets in, but after his feet turn, and just send everything in. So at this stage, I was thinking I'm going to commit next turn and throw everything in and kind of just kill a blow, whatever's left, and then he can't come back from it. It actually, I think it put my whole game at risk here. And I think what I should have done is feated this turn with a view of I'm just going to throw everything at you. And that Jack that I moved in, it would have been able to run the 16 round. So if you look at where it started, there's a gap between the Femblade and the Kithgar. I'm going to take a couple of free strikes, but I'm not too fussed. What it means is I've then got a Jack that's by the flag, which is fine. I'll even just spend all of the rockets and stuff trying to focus down those Femblades with the sprays. Because the infantry at the bottom now just go and shoot stuff. But if I'd killed 1 or 2 Femblades with the sprays, which even with the tough and stuff could be quite reliable. That 1 Femblade that's there basically within the 5. The one kind of in the middle, that bottom screen, at 1 o'clock of the Kithgar. If he had gone, I'd have easily been able to run to the flag. I probably could have just actually charged the bouncer. So load that Jack up, charge the bouncer. I'm within 4, and I'm putting damage into a beast, which obviously doesn't benefit from feet. So that would have been a good idea. And also, if I'd have feated now the Jack that was loaded up to kill the champions, expecting them to survive, I could have just thrown that Jack into the Impaler, who's at the front. Again, doesn't benefit from feet. And instead, I've now got a load of resource on Jacks that are out of range of everything. So I think this is a turn I can play completely differently. I think if I do that, I don't see how Toby can win the game from here.
Well, yeah, because even if he somehow chews through your 3 or 4 Jacks that you send in, he's just going to get rocketed to death the next turn.
Yep. And they'll all go. So the one with 2 attacks, because they all have to bunch up in its medium bases. I'd probably kill the Impaler, understands importance. It can certainly kill the Impaler. And a couple of models around that. The other Jack can run in and kill a couple of I think I can clear a load out quite reliably.
And he'll be the one struggling to contest because you'll be setting a battle further up the board towards him.
That is absolutely key. And as I said at the start, it's a game of in this situation, I feel like I'm winning the game on attrition. And it's that mindset of I've got my rockets. I don't need to put much in threat. I've got 2 Jacks in the zone. That's fine. I'm not fussed about that. It's fine. And in actual fact, it should have been a case of just throwing everything in and just putting the game to him. Because then Vlad is sitting on the flag. I'm now scoring over on his turn, and it completely reverses it. So not only has he got to deal with Jacks that are going to eventually kill everything, he's also got the scenario clock. And at this stage, if you've got a line of Jacks over the top, I'm not sure actually what he can get there.
Exactly.
To be able to contest. So I think this is it. And that is just a problem. It's just the shooting went so well and killed pretty much, we've now got a wrong front. I think most of the Warders were on 1, champions were gone. But most of the stuff that I wanted to kill, it died. I've got stuff in the zone. I just felt like I could wait a turn and commit and kind of finish the game. In actual fact, I could just finish the game here, in addition to cheating and knocking over the building multiple times.
That's fair. You can see, I mean, there hasn't been, I mean, a lot has died, considering that it's 50-50 tough. And I know Vlad1, you know, gets a lot of shooting done.
Yeah.
But still, that's a lot of dead trolls.
Yeah. I mean, one of the reasons why you haven't seen a lot of tough rolls as well is when I was rolling it, he used this turn to spread out a hell of a lot of damage. So obviously with the shield guards, you know, with the boxes being taken out. So while it's a lot of shooting, actually what have we got? There are 3 rockets that can reliably kill multi-win models. You know, the rifles are power 10, they're not killing champions even on Vlad's besides importance. But what it did do is pretty much most of his stuff was down like 1 box. And then one of those ones did come to get into tough rolls. Yeah, he didn't make them.
Yeah.
So like, this is an example there where, you know, he's taken a rocket, but it's just kind of wound down a couple of guys. It hasn't killed them, and same again there. Like it's not killing his guys, but it's taking all the wounds off. So he's got nothing left. And again, now if I'd, you know, feet and throw stuff in, that's pretty easy. I'll be clearing out a lot of those models that instead are alive to get an extra turn of work.
And he's lost the Fen Blades, and really they were the best thing at dealing with the infantry, and they're all gone. Like
yes, yeah. But watch what he does with the rest of them, because he's got like 4 or 5 Fen Blade models, and by God are they pricks for the rest of this game. Right, so this is me being just super greedy now, and obviously I've already made a decision not to feed. But here I basically just have all my jacks out of range. I think I've got two jacks in the zone, so you're not gonna be able to you're not gonna be able to kind of clear that out. So which is fine. So the rest of this are just basically saying like it's all out of range, you can't get me, and it's just really really greedy. Like I don't need to be worried about being in range. And what do I gain from waiting a turn? I could charge him now, but this is what I mean by being like a turn behind Toby on this. So. Well, when we were playing this and he was going through it, I think there comes a point later in the game where he was thinking about just calling it because it looked like everything was dead, but then realised actually when he was going through the game, he was like, actually, no, I think you're going to struggle to outpace me on scenario. And then it became a really, really horrible racing game where I had to try and kill literally everything in his army.
So, I mean, Toby's just starting his 3rd turn.
Yep.
He's on 1 control point.
Yeah, we're 1-1 because I was on my flag as well.
He's definitely going to be 2-1 at least because it's you can test. And if you look at it and you think that he must be thinking, what's my best way of winning the game now? My best way of winning is scenario. So I think what he's thinking is, can I clear the zone and can I, you know, stop you contesting?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yep. And the clearing zone, when I started, I genuinely didn't think he could do. And there was one thing that I forgot, which you'll see.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think when I watched this game originally, I saw it unfold and I thought, hold on a second, you might be able to get the 3rd point here, and then it's a different game at that point.
If he gets the 3rd point, yeah, really fucked. It's kind of, yeah, it goes really badly.
Yeah.
So I think this is him sending the bouncer in. And the reason he sent the bouncer in here, this is a chronicler putting charge the trolls up. So again, just really smart use of resource. When you look at how people play into these types of armies, yeah, and a lot of people just kind of look at 5 Kalar Jacks and melt. But here it's just very systematic. I'm sending the bouncer. He's not going to do a whole lot, but I'm going to be able to use that to trigger charge the trolls, and I'm going to be able to get these guys in reposition, etc. So yeah, really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, does he send in warders or does he send in champs? Do you know?
He's sending champs.
So they're POW 10 Weapon Masters base, so they'd be POW 12. It's pretty good.
POW 12 Weapon Masters, yeah. And he's obviously got effectively 6 attacks.
Yeah, and so he's doing 6 on the charge attack. He's doing 2.5. Well, yeah, 2.5 on the non-charge attack. 8.5. 16-24 with the bounce that probably kills it.
I think
with the bouncer charged and then was diced off and then did 5. I think he did about 30 rocks on average. I think he does kill it.
Yeah.
But on average, I think he does about 30 or something, 30-31. I mean, it's close regardless. It's
The champs have actually base power 11 as well, so they've actually got a 13.
There we go. That's terrible.
There we go. James, you're the troll player as well.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's almost like I don't use champions. I have started using them actually after being inspired by this match. Like the whole weekend, like I was basically following Toby around because my games were all really quick, and then I'd just watch him play these really long 2-hour grindy matches. Because he was always one of the last to finish.
Yep.
And he just plays long games really, really well, and it's one of the things that trolls do really, really well.
Yeah, this game made me want to almost go back to trolls. I say almost. And the reason I did it was just thinking, like, actually, here you can see me now at the top of the screen, is getting a little bit nervous. I'm like standing up, going, "Oh fuck! Oh wow! Actually, yeah, this is."
I mean, I think he's moving the Impaler up and looking at crit slam.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. So it's not certainly not a sure thing.
Nope.
I'm in cover, so I'm defense 14.
Yep.
And what's the Impaler? What's the rat? It's a rat 6.
It's rat 5.
Rat 5. So he's looking for a boosted crit 9. But if he does pull that off, and again, even with this, like if you look at where the Impaler is, he'd be half distance on the slam because I'm a larger base, and I think that's on the card for the Impaler because it checks after, and it's also half distance as well because I'm in rough terrain. So
it does look. I mean, to me, it looks like you are literally just towing the zone, though.
Yeah, no, exactly that. I was about to say, like from where I was standing, I thought I was further in. It's because we've got this terrain in, so I thought I was further in with it. But yeah, even with that said, it's just the big lesson here is just don't worry about throwing it in this game. We should have a lot more in zone. I thought the two heavies I thought was fine. I think he removed them and just had them factored in the crit slam on et al. So yeah. I mean, it doesn't go off, and I didn't know whether he was thinking about going balls out and putting Madrak in the zone to go for it, because he's got a reload, doesn't he, Madrak?
He has. He's got a reload on his spear.
Yeah.
I think it's 14. So 2 dice off 6. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. Like
no, if it goes wrong, then trouble. You can see now with these fan blades. So he'd sent the bouncer in first. He put the champions in next into the to kill the Juggernaut, which is fine. And then he had like 2 or 3 guys left. 2 or 3 guys left on the fan blades. And if you look at where these guys get now, they were a nightmare for the rest of the game. And one sec. Sorry, Toby's just actually messaged me as well. So it might be worth. We'll see if we can get anyways, yeah. But with these fan blades, if you look at where he's got to, so he's now got 3 fan blade models, and this is the type of thing I used to do it when I started playing trolls and started playing the game. I see a lot of people do is just think they've got 2 or 3 models left in the unit and just pretty much throw them away. If you look at what these guys do for the rest of the game, I think they tie up the majority of that bottom unit really, really well.
They're really benefited from reposition. They're really benefited from getting reposition in the new edition.
Massively, massively. Like, yeah, just being able to kind of charge in, etc., etc. Cool.
Right, so he's moving Madrak up. He's desperate to get him involved if he gets a chance. He obviously wants to trigger Righteous Vengeance if he can. And that's actually one of the beauties of Madrak. He could literally, if you put something within 4 inches of his flag, he can Righteous Vengeance up to it, hit it, and then... No, he can't. He can Righteous Vengeance... Yeah, he obviously can't attack and then move back. He hasn't got Bushwhack, but he can cast spells and then walk back to the flag with a Righteous Vengeance. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, indeed. But if you look at what he's done now as well, if you look at where he's at, so we've got the Femblades and the Kithcar at the bottom, jamming up infantry. He's basically got a wall, completely around the the whole of the line of the middle. So it's really difficult for me to get anything to his flag. Madrak3 as far forward as he can be to get everything in his stone. The armor cracking that if he's going to get anything he may need, and this is me being like, fuck, how am I going to get to contesting? Nope, that's not going to work. But yeah, the only model he's kept back, I think I'm right in saying, James, is the Kith car.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, and so what's David done here? He's realised his win condition, playing for that win condition, and the only model he's not committing to that win condition is the one model that he needs potentially to grind on heavies, because that heavy middle's taking damage. So if he can dink up another heavy and take out that other jack, take out the jack's been damaged, it gets, again, it's, he's then got some more viable attrition answers. It's not great, but he's just doing everything he can to win the game, being really effective with his resources, which is really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, and if the crit slam, I mean, obviously, we said it wasn't a sure thing, but if the crit slam works, he's 3-1 here. It's very unlikely you can contest this turn.
Well, if he's 3-1, what I have to do then is I'm literally clearing that. And if you see he's given me the hero as well. Now, a lot of people go, well, why not run champion or something? I think I don't know, but I'm suspecting the fact that he's kept the chronicler back is because he knows his best way of cracking armor is going to be to apply it to units. If he wants to put it into units, his most valuable models are units. So therefore, what's he give away? He gives away the solo. That also means he doesn't have to worry about command and all sorts of other shit. So he's run the hero. He goes 2-1, and that's what he's up to here.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you're obviously thinking this is the feat turn.
Yeah, I mean, I have to kind of feet on this one, just send stuff in. But yeah, because of how he's positioned his models, because of that rough terrain, I think this is the turn where I try and clear lots in the middle and run something completely around the top, and I can't get there. So my win condition now is pretty much I have to kill everything. And at this point, I was panicking quite a lot. I mean, Vlad takes a long time on clock as well, so yeah, it's fun games. And
you've lost a whole unit of riflemen and rockets at the bottom as well, with the Fem Blades tying them up.
Yeah, one of the rockets is tied up, the other two aren't. So yeah, it's not the end of the world, but yeah, it's not great. And also, if you look at where they are, like all the models are either engaged or in cover or both. So I'm just like, oh Jesus. So I can't even kind of mortar on to try and take them out, because the mortar will clear them if it lands on the power 10 blast.
Yep.
Kith car's there with Vengeance, so he's going to be able to walk. He's going to be able to kill 3 models a turn. So next turn he should be able to effectively get to. He should be able to kill all the rockets with whatever's left down there. So yeah, that side of the bottom's not good. So I think we've got shots going in. I think he manages to tough on this turn.
And he's sitting there thinking, I wish it was a turn earlier. Yeah. I mean, he's still good on the champions, because obviously they're steady when they're in base to base.
I mean, if you look at the top, if you look at the ones that he moved, I think he didn't tough a lot. Yeah, definitely. A lot of the Femblades went down. The Femblades already jammed, so they were kind of already moved. I think all it did is it just really sucked up some of his shield guard resource for this turn.
No, that's fair. Like I said, I think it's difficult for him to crack 5 heavies. Yep.
So because of where he's up to, I kind of have to clear models off to be able to put shots out. I know I'm going to be able to get 3 heavies into the zone now, so I'm happy with that one coming out. And also that's the more fragile one. So in terms of trading, it doesn't make sense to lead with that, because that's one you can probably take quite easily, etc., etc. So I'll throw the others forward. They'll probably tank it, and then have him go and clear off some Femblades. And also just with the terrain and where everything is, it's pretty difficult. I think I boundless charged these guys as well to be able to get over the rough terrain, which really limited my volume of attacks. I don't know whether, seeing how fast it is, maybe I should have chosen the other side. I spoke to Toby about it after, saying should have been on the other side, because that huge rubble in the middle was a headache. It's one of those terrain pieces where either have it, I don't benefit from it because Toby doesn't have guns. He's got Pathfinder, I don't. But if I give it to him, then the models that are in the zone contesting, like that brick we see now, if you put it the other way, that's all sat in rough terrain. It's a bit of a nightmare because it's all in cover then. So Winterguard Signs of Fates are good, but there comes a tipping point where even with signs of importance, they can't hit reliably. Most of the rockets are usually that's Rat7. So against a defense 16, it can be tricky.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the things that we've seen a lot in the last year of playing War Machine. We've seen a lot of rubble on tables, and I think it's a really interesting terrain piece because we didn't really see it before Mark III came around. And it's just interesting because obviously, Pathfinder just completely ignores it, but it's a good anti-gun line thing because you can still charge at the gun line and you're getting protection.
Yep, and a lot of stuff's got relentless charge or access to Pathfinder on charge. So I think a lot of K-Door Pathfinders actually majority of it's reliant on charging. So which is fine. The factions like Manoth, a lot of theirs is reliant on being damaged. So again, Pathfinder like battle driven. So that can make the stuff like Rubble a real nightmare for them because you can choose whether or not you let them, let them basically charge you, which is pretty good.
Yeah, and I think if you're playing games in your local meta and you're having a problem with gun lines and you're struggling with terrain, I think looking at Rubble might be something you should consider doing because it really is. It's a great piece for just like making the game, making the game balanced and fair with terrain.
Yep. Right, this is me trying to figure out how to run round.
Just seeing if you can get within 4 to contest this turn.
Yeah, and if you rewind and look at where he put his models, like that, the reason there's that kind of gap, which I can't run through, it's where the Marauder was in terms of charging. I either block my charge lane for the kind of bottom jack to go into the rest of them, or put him where he is now. But it means that I can't run through the middle because I'd have to run through the rough terrain, which takes a leg movement out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because one of the problems with boundless charge is that it only works on charges.
Exactly.
Yep.
Same problem. Like this is real first world K-Door problems.
I played Boundless Charge Castle the other day, and like the moment you want to walk into a forest or someone's more than 3 inches into a forest, you realise that there's stuff like that you can play around. And if you know what the ability does, you can position more correctly. Sounds wrong, but yeah, more correctly.
Correct.
Yes, you can position correctly, and you can abuse stuff like Boundless Charge not working, and make it not work the way it should.
Yep.
Same goes for Relentless Charge. Like, a gameplay at the weekend, you can sit 5 inches away from a model that can't see you because of a forest. And if they got Relentless Charge like Sentinels, they literally can't get to you. Because they walk 2.5 and then they have a 2-inch reach.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, this is you sending Jacks in, basically just trying to say, I'm going to contest the zone and I'm going to contest your flag next turn.
Yeah, pretty much. This is the sending stuff in. So this one signs importance, then loaded up as well, and this one isn't too bad. So I think I pretty much kill the what's the word I'm looking for, James? The patrol.
Yeah.
And then put some tie up and put some shots into the Impaler as well.
And it's just. Especially when you're hurting the beast, he hasn't really got enough to use Charge of the Trolls to clear another beast. Now,
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was it. I charged the Impaler.
Yeah.
And it was to do this. So it's one is to, if I could, try and make it easy to go around, and also it takes away Charge of the Trolls' effectiveness because the bounce can't tell it down at the bottom. And lastly, it takes away Fast Strike as well.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't think he has any infantry left that can, because he has to be units, doesn't it? On Charge of the Troll, so I don't think he has anything left.
Yeah. So this is me looking at how far or not far things can run.
Enjoy it, kids. You won't be able to see this in 2017.
This is one single measurement stick. This is perfectly usual.
All right, it's amazing. It looked like you were putting it down in separate pieces.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
cool.
Yeah, and obviously the one main concern here is you're making sure that you are leaving something else within 4 inches of your flag, because a really silly way to lose this would be if you ran to your flag and you already had Vlad there.
Indeed. All of the Winter Guard at the top contesting my flag, which you can't get to. And the reason I ran that jack there is because it makes it very difficult for him, if he can, to run a model through and contest. So between the jacks, I've got basically those 3 jacks forming a wall, and he can't get medium base through there without taking 2 free strikes, and obviously one of them's a Juggernaut, so there's obviously the crit freeze issues. And then you've also got another Juggernaut kind of up at the top as well, engaging a lot of stuff. So really the stuff that he can run to contest, he's got the Drummer, which is knocked down, he's got the Bouncer, and then he's got 1 Femblade, and it's really the Femblade and the Kith cards that I was worried about. So that's why I kind of put that model there. But again, it's now stuck in it's now stuck in rough terrain, just being a prick. So yeah.
And you've got the Winter Guard as well. Not only are they helping to contest your own flag, but they're also there as making sure that you're not going to get killed because Madrak's got a pretty decent range assassination.
Yeah, he does. To be honest, at this stage, I mean, there's the Pyre's engaged, which is all right. I'm engaging Falcor, so I don't think the Pyre can get out. I think I had there was like 1 or 2 sack pawns with where Vlad was, but if he can get a volume of shots, then he can probably kill Vlad. I didn't really feel like it was on the table, so I didn't, in all honesty, didn't think through it that much.
And that's fair. I'm just obviously saying that people don't realize he's got 2 boostable power 14s.
Yeah,
potentially.
2 boostable power 14s. So yeah, 15, 16 dice off 2. Yeah, you can do it.
And I mean, you've taken the Impaler off the table, though, correct? So that's obviously going to hurt his range because he hasn't got the animates anymore.
Yeah, I remember which way down. This is either I can take one of his beasts and do something else, and I ended up thinking, well, the way I did it is I charged the Impaler to take off Fast Strike, take off Reach for the Chronicler, and then instead of attacking the other beast, I actually put it into the Foulcaller. So I figure there's no point putting a bit of damage on a beast that I can kill next turn reliably. So instead, just try and kill another model. But the Foulcaller is still there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Did you remember set defense?
Which on the Impaler?
Yeah.
In all honesty, not sure. I'm a 7 on the Signs of Importance, rolling all the dice. Yeah,
it's fair. I mean, it's unlikely to make a difference. It's one of these rules that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, really, really good point. This is Combat Chronicler. So all Toby's doing now is so the score's 3-2.
Yep.
Which is okay, and what he's going to do now is basically kind of like try and pack models around my guys as much as possible.
Yeah, and say, can I stop you getting something to my flag?
Yeah.
And the answer is probably no.
But it's interesting if you look at the position of the jacks, and if you look at where Toby's brick was, then my jacks. This is pretty much. I mean, there's probably some other positions they could be, but this is pretty much it, and this is where they're going to be. So now my feet's gone. Remember, I only run 8, so I'm within 12 of the flag, but I have to kill all the stuff.
What I'd be interested to know, the turn that he killed your jack and tried to get the other one out of the zone. Do you reckon he could have got one of his light beasts into combat with that? With the one that he tried to slam through the rough terrain?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the Impaler was open, I think. Yeah, because when I was kind of replaying this game in my head, I was thinking if I'd have defeated and just thrown everything in, I could quite comfortably have got something to his Impaler because he had like the 3 champions and a Ward or 2 and then the Impaler.
Yeah. No, it's just interesting. It's just like I did speak to him because everyone thinks it's a bit strange, really, that he's not running a heavy in the list. But in most situations, it wasn't causing him a problem because most of the things he wants to play into are like armor 17, etc., armor 18. Like he plays it into a lot of cricks. He plays it into a lot of ret kind of situation, and he can strip, a lot of armor buffs that could exist in these lists.
Yeah, I mean, his other list was Doomy 3 with Mountain King, and I think that's a tough game for Doomy to play into this. I've got an extra dice on my feet attack, so I can kind of quite reliably get round and start shooting support because he can't come that much base. And with the Marauders against the Mountain King, it's such a liability. Even on feet turn, potentially I might have a crack at it, maybe.
Yeah. I certainly wouldn't drop my Doomy 3 list, and it's very similar to Nathan's. I wouldn't drop it into your Flat
So,
list.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. All right. So, is it back to your turn? Are you now going to see? Can you contest?
With this, I think the score's 3-2.
Yeah, because he didn't contest your flag.
Pardon?
He didn't contest your flag, did he?
No, that was it. Yeah, so it was 3-2 on his turn. So yeah, it goes to 4-3.
Yep.
So the way that this game needs to run now is basically, so this is checking on contesting. It's basically like I can get stuff. I can definitely get stuff that's to be able to contest the flag and all that malarkey.
And it won't even matter at this stage as long as you contest, because it'll go to 4-all, and there's no way you can contest his flag. At that point, you've won, because even if you can clear his flag, the best he can do is get to 5-5.
Yeah, and I think actually the way I end up having to do it, he's basically got 4-5 models in the zone.
Yep.
And I think the way I end up having to do it is to effectively kill the zone, start scoring the zone. So I don't actually think, if you look at that 4-inch widget from his flag, because Vlad's defeated now, I don't actually think I can clear. I can't get to I can't kill everything. So it's basically all of the jacks and the gunshots and everything just need to kill all the stuff in the zone.
Got you. So you're going to end the turn on 5-all and then say what you're going to do.
Yeah. So basically, he can't come into the zone. I kill everything else that's in there. With jacks are all basically there, ready to go.
Yeah, and he's got a piece that can only score his own flag. He can't contest your flag, and he can't contest his own.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So you'll notice all the jacks are loaded up because they don't get science important. So very alien feeling having to spend to spend to charge. Basically just loaded all the jacks up and just did it honestly, so to speak.
And you got a lot left, but it was touch and go for a while with that, with the scenario.
Oh yeah,
it was very real positive in getting 5.
Yeah. So this is here. So this guy then charges across to there.
Yep.
Which is fine. So he basically clears out the that guy.
Pyre Troll, I think it is.
Yeah, the Pyre Troll. Yeah. So this is pretty much like straight dice.
Yeah, I just saw him add. Like he's adding like 8 or 9 damage every hit.
Yeah.
Pretty nasty. Yeah, it looks like you just 3-shot it.
Yeah. And then at that stage, the toast, he's kind of got it then, but the guys haven't activated, which are the people at the bottom. That's Toby going, if I'd have hit that, you lucky fucker, I'd have won the game. And I was like, yeah, good point, sir. So yeah, at the bottom just finish off like I didn't have to. I just said I'll run these and just basically run all my infantry around the Kithgar, so he can't run the Kithgar to contest, and that'd be it.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was an interesting match, and thank you obviously for giving us commentary on it.
It was good. I kind of feel like it's one of those ones where him going first was huge, and whoever goes first on the pit was always big. So him being able to score first with the way his list works on that scenario is really big. Me not realising it for a turn and playing a turn behind means I had to, as you saw, I literally had to kill everything apart from Madrak and a Kithgar. And that was the only way to win. And I think the way the scoring worked, I think it went 5-5 on the end of my turn. And then it goes kind of 7-6. Because even on that last turn, I didn't have anything running contest range after Vlad's feet's gone, because he had that huge wall of meat in front of me. Plus the rough terrain, so I couldn't get across it. So yeah, definitely a harder game than I was hoping for round 2 of Welsh. Yeah,
it's pretty good though. It was very close in the end, so it was good.
It was definitely, yeah. Well, any other kind of key points that when you were looking through it, Jacob?
No, I think something I was thinking of was obviously like the Devastator would be nice just for the bulldoze, but you obviously might mention that, and it's difficult to remove and all that kind of stuff. Just makes contesting a bit easier, doesn't it? But yeah, I think you pretty much covered it, to be fair.
I think with Vlad, he's like such a good attrition caster because of what he does with dice. So with that, so actually having a model that's really hard to remove and can just contest, especially in 2017, where you just kind of park it in the zone. Having something that can't be pushed and pulled as well is great. So if I drop into circle, like Loki can't get rid of it, Hellmouth can't get rid of it, it can't be knocked down. You pretty much have to go and slam or throw the thing.
You have to go and kill it, and then circle especially struggle to kill a Devastator.
Armor 23, yeah. And even on like, I've got it in a Krigs list or an anti-Krigs list to try and test into Ghost Fleet. Because most of the time, you can expect a -5 armor swing, and even being armor 18 is fine. So you can tank a lot. So yeah, I've got one of those, and it's just awkward with the points. So yeah, I've got that 3 Marauders and a Juggernaut, and it actually bizarrely means that sometimes you struggle with killing honest heavies. You can't have Dane, you got a Juggernaut in there, but yeah, your highest power is power 16 if they prioritize the Juggernaut, because they know you're not going to be opening up the Clamjack.
That's a fair point, actually.
Yeah, so I can do 2 Marauders, 2 Juggernauts, and a Devastator, but I'd have to give up the Infantry to do that. I went to go Infantry to do that, which I'm really sad about. So,
does that lose you an advanced move as well?
No, because I'd go from Winter Guard Infantry and Winter Guard Infantry and Rockets and the UA to effectively just the Min Rifles and the Rockets.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, points, because the UA is 4 points. And I think the list at the minute I'm playing is a point down, and I need to find 2 points. So I think you end up with like the Juggernaut, and then you get kind of a mini unit mechanics or something, but you still get the advanced move.
Fair enough then.
Yeah, something like that. Mechanics, I haven't found a need for mechanics, so I haven't really bothered with them yet. But yeah, as you see with that, like typically when Vlad sends his stuff in, everything dies.
Yeah, well, signs of importance.
Signs of importance. Rolling dice.
If you roll more dice, it's always better.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Pro tip.
Unless you're discarding the highest.
It's really weird playing that into like Calandra, because you have this whole like, I'm going to roll even more dice and take out all the really good and bad ones. So you just end up with a game that's like 3, 3, 3, 4, 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff. Well, anyway, thanks for having me on, guys. Really enjoyed that. Thank you, and thanks
for coming on.
The troll side as well. I'm glad to hear you agree. I played it as badly as I thought I did.
Take care, Rich.
Cool. Cheers, guys. See you again.
See ya. Bye.